As usual, so we start our session with a prayer, and the reason for that is to ask for protection of this group, and to make sure that we are in good sync with the higher spirits, with the friendly spirits. Okay, so let's just relax, close our eyes, elevate our thoughts. Think of the spirits of light, higher spirits, Jesus. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter the name, doesn't matter the belief. It matters what make you feel good, and what make you feel loved. Dear brother Jesus, as we gather here today to learn from the spirit teachings, from your loving message, and from each other life experience, we ask you please to come beside us now. Lead us on our study today, on the days ahead of us, and through the time when our mind cannot cope. Please inspire our speaker of the day, Sonia Rinaldi. May your blessings shower upon her. May your peaceful vibration help her to pass on all information she carefully prepared for us today. Help us to find peace and calm in inner thoughts. You hold us safe, and please do the same for every member of this group, for our mentors here with us today, for our family members, our houses, our relatives, and all of those crossing our mind right now, as well as all of those in need. And so be it. Okay, so the other announcement that I would like to do is on September, there will be this guy talking to us, Flávio Dias de Moraes. He is also an engineer. He's a mechanical engineer. He is very known to the Spiritist centers here in Houston. As a matter of fact, he is part of the coordinators of Kardec Spiritist Society of Houston, Spiritist Center, and he will be presenting this lecture to us, the reincarnation theory, analytical considerations. I had a chance to see this lecture. It's very nice, very interesting one, and I highly recommend you to attend. The link is the same Zoom meeting link that we use every Saturday. This is our agenda. As you know, we had Julio Carvalho talking to us late June. I see an echo, so if you happen to have your phone open, please mute your phone. And yeah, good, thank you. And then we have Sonia today, September the 10th is gonna be Flavio, but and this is the end. September 24th is the end for this agenda, but we had we already prepared other people to talk to us until the end of the year. There will be more speakers, very interesting speakers coming over. And as you all know, Sonia Rinaldi, the one and only Sonia Rinaldi. I love her, so I'm very suspicious to say, but I love her. And as you all know, she has been graduated. She had this degree in Anglo-Germanic languages from this college in São Paulo, master's in science of religion, and she is the co-founder of the research director of research of Institute Itc, that's Instituto de Pesquisas Avançadas em Transcomunicação Instrumental. This is Portuguese, guys. This is secret language, which means Institute of Advanced Research in Instrumental Transcommunications. She is an international speaker who has been conducting several researches on ITC. She has, between e-magazines and e-books, 96 publications and about 16, right? 16 paper books. And today I have the pleasure to have her here with us, and she will be talking about her recent discoveries. I hope there will be some time for Q&A session. If it doesn't, don't worry, because she is obligated to come back here and talk to us one more time. You have no option. Sorry, Sonia, but you have to come back to us. So with that, I'm gonna pass the ball to you and make you the host.
Okay. Can I just make a suggestion, Anna?
Yes.
You can mute everyone yourself because people are not muting. If you go to the participants, open up the participants window, and there's an option down the bottom that says mute participants on entry. Click that and it will mute people coming in. And you've asked people to mute now, but there's a lot who haven't muted, which is going to make it difficult for your tape. Kathleen hasn't muted. There's a couple that haven't. If that helps, you know, to have that capacity. Do you see what I mean? You're muted, honey. Anna, you're muted.
She's muted now.
Oh, okay. So I'm saying that I'm no longer the host. So Sonia will need to do it. Yes.
Well, Sonia can do it.
Oh my God, no, I don't understand all of these things. I think that everybody's silent, right? Because I'm so confused.
Yeah, I guess everybody's on mute now.
Yeah.
Eddie Ann isn't. Anyway, I just thought it was an idea to help you.
Hearing.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Wait a second. First, we'll put the glasses, otherwise I cannot see, right? So, okay, is it working for you? Is it okay? Okay. So as Anna said, I also love her. I will talk today about the advancements in ITC research. So what is ITC? It is the communication with astral cities where there exist advanced laboratories for communication with Earth through technology. And that is what we call ITC. There is no connection with mediums. It is all through electronic devices, right? So today, we reached so many advancements that everything became more simple. So that many times with a laptop and cell phone, it is enough for the communication with the other side. But obviously, everybody has lots of doubts. As for instance, are the spirits solid enough to appear in image? Or do they have devices for transmissions? Do they have voices to speak with us? How can they access our devices? Good questions, right? So let's see if we can reply at least some of these questions. Let's remember that by the years 60s, we heard that people were recording voices in Europe. And it was said that those communications were coming from a place that they called Central Station. Some years later, by 1985, we started working with the South Station with the coordination of Dr. Halduf. He was a pioneer from Europe. In 2014, we knew that North Station was inaugurated under the coordination of Nikola Tesla. And more recently, in 2021, we were informed that a new station was linked to us from Asia to cover the Asia countries. And obviously, these are the stations that are in connection with us, but obviously that there are lots of stations all around the world. Which are our objectives? First of all, to raise evidences of the afterlife. In second place, we have to test and test and test to let the spirit friends to better the connection with us. And in third place, to take solace to those who lost someone dear. The ITC phenomena can be expressed either in voices or images. These are the big areas that we can work with. So I'll show you some recent cases of apparitions. All these cases that I'm showing to you were not published yet, were not posted in our Patreon, so that you didn't see these cases yet. Okay, it will be still posted. This will be our next e-magazine of next week, when we will be talking about Wesley. And Wesley is from UK. He passed at the age of 13 years old of a heart problem. And his parents are Tessie and Johnny. And with this boy, we had incredible experiences, as we will see in more details in our e-magazine that will be published next week. So have a look. This photo that I have at my left, it is just the photo that the parents sent to me. It was the only image that I had from Wesley, okay? But in the recordings, look, he appeared a bit older and beautiful. So it was a surprise. I think that the first reaction of the parents was, whoa, my son is growing up. And yes, this is totally in accordance to the spiritualist literature, mainly, for instance, in the books of the spirits by Allan Kardec and other publications. Many of them says that children grows up in the other side. Okay, so we have now, we can visualize what the spiritist books said 150 years ago. More than that, Wesley appeared in different ages in the video, obviously in images that I have never seen and the parents had never seen. The parents don't have these images that we are watching right now. So you see that in some moments, Wesley went a little bit to his past and appeared younger than he's 13 years old when he passed. And also he appears older and a bit older here at our right. So let's say that, as the Spiritist literature says, he is now a young man, and that is possibly the appearance that he will keep for long, because it is said in the Spiritist literature that children grows up till more or less 30 or 40 years maximum. And those who dies older, let's say someone with 90 years old, will get younger till the age of 40 also. So that in those astral cities, the average of age is 30, 40 years. Everybody, those that died older or those that died as a children, all them will have more or less the same age. So this is possibly the appearance that Wesley will keep for forever now. Now, in other videos, still Wesley, look, he appears older and keeping the appearance of perhaps some 25 years. And observe something very curious. In this recording, his head was, let's say, floating in the air. You can see, for instance, in this image, in this first image at the left, that this clear part of the top of the image is the ceiling of my lab, and the walls are painted with black. So you see that the head is just in the middle, as if it was floating in the air and moving. And I'll show you the video in which he appeared. Now, observe that I have to freeze some frames, otherwise it is quick and we cannot perceive it precisely. So we will see that Wesley will change of ages many times. Sometimes he will be younger, and in the same recording, he will get older. So this is something that, let's say, it is an incredible technology that the other side has, and they are showing to us, right, what they are capable of. So let's see in the video how Wesley appeared floating. Observe the ceiling and the black walls. Observe that he changes first as a child, then he becomes older, and he goes on. This is was done over the smoke of a humidifier. Observe that he appears very beautiful. Obviously, the parents saw these and other videos, and it will be in our next magazine in next week. Let's say that to be able to see a person that passed is an incredible technology, an incredible advancement that is real, right? It is. This can be analyzed. For instance, anyone who was expert for forensic expert can analyze and verify that nothing was inserted or excluded in this recording. It is absolutely raw. Okay, so let's move. Something new that the other side is producing are the images bringing two persons, or in this case, two different ages in one single image, which is another thing that is absolutely amazing. Here you have Wesley at right as a young boy, somewhat similar to when he passed, And at left, you have himself, but older. So the question is how such thing is possible, right? Now, let's see Brittany's case. Brittany passed at the age of 21 in 2018, and she is Susan's daughter. Susan, I think she is in our presentation today. And here we have beautiful Brittany and many, many apparitions. This e-magazine was not published yet, so it is new for you too. And observe that she appeared in big images and in large images and beautiful, beautiful. Now observe the lips in this previous image and in this other one, as if she's sending a kiss mother to parents, right? So she's making like this. So it is something like a message.
It looked like he was going to be right there with Jarebo again. Jareem's been running the 400.
Just a sec, Sonia. Adele, would you please mute your phone?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, something that very, very curious appeared in this case that we learned is when I started perceiving that the images in the video of Brittany were bringing a blonde girl with green eyes. And I thought that this was very rare because Brittany had brown eyes. I was paying attention closely to the photo and I was thinking, is that possible that it is just, the darkness of the room and then she appears to have brown eyes, but in truth, she has green eyes. So I asked her mother and Susan promptly confirmed that no, Brittany had brown eyes. And when she sent me this reply, I got immediately the intuition. I thought it was a sister. But what is very interesting is that Susan was participating of our project of those mother who lost the only child that she had. So Brittany was our only child. So she has no sister, right? So then it came to my mind, no, mother had a miscarriage. She possibly had another daughter who was not alive. And then we asked Susan, and she promptly confirmed it. Yes, she had a miscarriage and it was a girl and she had name already. She would be, still is, Stephanie. So look, Stephanie is more or less the age of Brittany and both are together. So this is something that is, let's say, absolutely new in the knowledge of spiritualism. Observe how different is the image of Stephanie. Besides the green eyes, the nose, she is completely different and very
The lips are the same.
too.
The lips are Stephanie and lips are the same.
And so the surprise was that Susan is in the only child project. So she thought she had just one daughter, and now she discovered that she has two.
The same.
Beautiful, beautiful girls,
Lips are the same.
and they are together. And again, here we notice when the other side can send an image which is half and half. Half is Stephanie and half is Brittany. We recognize by the traces and by the color of the eyes in one single image. Here we have Alejandro's case. He is the son of my friend Lydia, who is also a great helper for me in US. She is from Florida, and Alejandro passed away at the age of 27. And in his recording, all of a sudden he appeared like this little boy. And then I sent it to Lydia, and Lydia confirmed, no, that is my boy, because look at this. And then she sent me the photo of Alejandro when he was some 8 or 10 years or 12, something like that. And you see that it's absolutely him. So it was obviously a huge surprise for Mom. Now, look at this. Something that they are showing to us is that when we pass, we keep our family together, our friends, and look at this, because Lydia not only lost her son, Alejandro, but his grandson also. And the grandson was Alejandro's son. So she has in the spirit the son and grandson, and observe them together. And observe the photo that Lydia sent at left. That is precisely her grandson. And a good news for her, they are together. So she was so relieved to know that both are together.
They would be.
Look at this other photo that Lydia sent. Observe the chin, how it is somewhat square, precisely as it is shown in the transimage. So father and son are together there. And now we will see Neil's apparition. Neil's passed at the age of 11, and he had a seizure while he was sleeping. He is Laura's son. And this was such a wonderful case because Neil appeared absolutely by himself in this image that I was watching in a video. And then I said, well, wait, I think I saw this boy. Look at this. And there he is. That's Neil. And then I sent it to his mother and asked, is this your son? And she said, oh, yes, that's my son.
Yes,
And he
yes.
appeared in many other images as well. But this was surprising because he came from nowhere. In truth, he appeared in another video that had no connection with his video. And then he appeared, but I recognized it, and the mother confirmed it. Now let's see some cases of transfigurations and strong evidences and confirmation of the reality of afterlife. Let me show you how I have been working, and it is like this. I sometimes invite some mothers and ask them to hold the picture of the daughter of our son in front of her laptop or desktop or whatever. And then we will notice that, let's see, that is at our left. Let's suppose that we have my friend Lisa, who is another great helper, and she is holding Amber's photo in front of the webcam. And notice that in my laptop here down at our right, I will see Amber's photo because that is what Lisa is holding, right? And what we expect to happen is that this photo that is being transmitted to me will change completely and bring other persons or other ages, or will suffer some transformations, right? So let's see. Here is the detail of Lisa holding Amber's photo. In both the photos, you can see her holding Amber's photo. Amber passed at the age of 25. and Lisa lives in Maine. And now let's observe what happened to the photo. While I was filming, recording Amber's photo, notes that Amber that was smiling in the photo, she closes the lips as to send a kiss to Lisa. And this photo was being held by mother. So it was a phenomenon that was not happening here, but in mother's hands. This is Krista's case. Krista was chosen by the producer of our documentary, Robert T. Lyon. She's from Oklahoma. And Robert chose two persons for making experiments live with me while he was here in Brazil for the documentary. So you have Krista here at left and Robert and I, while he was filming me. So I was making the experiments while Robert was recording behind me. Krista lost her mother, Christina, and observe how beautiful Christina appeared. And notice that out of this red square is here at our left in the transimage, you see Krista's partial face holding the photo. In the majority of the photos, you can see Krista's hands, and you see half of her face and the mother, beautiful, renewed, as I said at the beginning. She is now much younger than when she passed. Here is the trailer of our documentary. The documentary, I think it is worthy because it shows lots of cases. More and more loved ones who passed are appearing.
Its spirit can manipulate things from the other side, and it's resonance. It's all resonance.
It's hard to really stretch your mind around what her work is, but it is absolutely authentic. It's real. This woman has no agenda. There's nothing that she's trying to gain out of this other than to help all of us heal from those that we've lost.
The work of Sonia Rinaldi brings a new dimension to the study of the afterlife.
They blend in with your energy, and that's how they can do the work, and that's how you get your outcome. That's how she's been able to get some of her magnificent outcomes.
Like past research.
So let's see another case of Samantha. This case I was not published yet. It is in a magazine that will be posted in some 2 weeks or 3. And it was such a nice case. Samantha passed at the age of 25 from a brain tumor. And when I saw this girl in her recording, my first reaction was, do I have this photo? Because this is a photo. Where it came from? And then I searched and I said, no, I don't have this photo. This is paranormal. This came from the other side. The photo that I had was this one at our left that was closed when Samantha passed. Now, observe the quality of the image that came from the other side. And mother later sent me some photos of Samantha earlier, around 14 years old, 12 years old. Observe, it is just the same. And obviously, this photo, this transimage at left, nobody in the world has. Neither I had, nor Samantha's mother had. Now, she also appeared in different ages. And look at this. Look at Samantha. when she passed, obviously she had cancer. She was possibly very pale, very thin, and now look at this. And this is a photo at left, before she got sick, right? And look how she is now. This is another case. Kathy lost 2 boys. One of them was Connor. He passed at the age of 25. And look at the quality of these images. I feel that it is as if we could touch these images. These are 2 different frames from the same recording. Not only he is younger, but I think that it is absolutely astonishing because it is better than the photo that the mother had and that I had, that it is this one at left. This is Mr. Imbo's case. This is Jae-hae, my South Korean friend. Mr. Imbo passed at the age of 69 of cancer, and also again, pale, thin, you know, typically with a person who has passed by cancer. Now look as he appeared. And this is the photo that Jae-hae sent later, showing that she recognized her husband. Obviously, this was the work from Asia Station, and it was absolutely an incredible recording that happened that day. This is beautiful Matthew's case. He is Sandra's son. He passed at the age of 28, murdered. His magazine will also be available in some weeks. It is ready already. And look, he appeared as a little boy, smiling. Observe that the photo that mother had of more or less the same age, he is with the lips closed, and in the transimage, he is smiling. But the most surprising was those images of when he was older, possibly a little bit older than when he passed. Now observe this detail of the transimage that mother had something very, very similar. His frown is observing the front that is, you know, with this mark. It was perfectly his style. And obviously I didn't know, only after when mother sent me this photo at the right. And there is a special evidence in this case. This is the wall around the swimming pool in Sandra's house. She had the wall painted by an artist, and the detail that the artist painted before the passage of the sun, look at the frown, precisely similar to the transimage. It was something like something that was foresaw before by the artist, that he would appear with the same mark as an evidence to mother. Now let's see this aspect of joining the families in the other side. And for showing this, I'll show you the case of Jennifer. She lost 3 sons. She lost Aja, I don't know how to pronounce it. I say Aja. He passed with at the age of 16. Amarendra, also I don't know how to pronounce it. It is a very uncommon name. He passed it at the age of 21, and Zaki passed it at the age of 25. So she lost 3 boys, right? And obviously she had no idea about them, where they were, if they were together or not, or what, right? And it was something astonishing to see the 3 boys very well and together, as we will see. Look at the quality of this transimage. This is Amarendra, younger. This is Ajas, I don't know, apparition. Observe that we recognize it is the same guy, but obviously it is not the same photo. It is different. And this is Zaki's apparition. What is curious that the only picture that mother sent was this one at left, and observe that the quality of the transimage is better. And here, observe that Zaki appears aside Amarendra, the other brother. Also, these 2 brothers also came together, and it is in a first moment difficult to perceive that these are 2 images in one, but you see, if we put a line, you see that one is Amarendra and the other is Aja. So 2 images in one, possibly suggesting that they are together and showing also this incredible technology of the other side. Another one with them, the brothers together. So this is what I call evidences of the afterlife, right? Because nobody has such photos. The videos can be investigated, and nothing was inserted, nothing was excluded. The video is absolutely raw, and nobody has such a photo here in our side. And in here, we have the 3 brothers together. Obviously, it is a composition a bit difficult to perceive. So we have Zaki as in first, as he is the older brother. In the middle, we have Amarendra. And then at the end, we have Aja. One image for the 3 boys. Shaping vapor. Let me show you some images. And I saw that Brandon is with us today. So I'll show one of Brandon. But this is Patricia, was a sweet friend from Vermont. She lost her daughter, Melissa. But this was just an experiment that we made in Orlando and in 2018, when I was making a workshop there, and Patricia was an attendee. And you see that behind her, while we were recording in front of the other attendees, there appeared a huge image aside Patricia. Another nice case that was shaped in vapor is the apparition of Aisha. I also don't know how to pronounce it. I say Aisha. She passed at the age of 6 in Australia. And it's so curious that she seems to be waving the hand as to say, "Hi, Mom, I'm here, I'm alive." And yes, sorry, it is now that I will show Brandon's case with pets. Pets is also survive, also alive in the other side, and yes, they can appear. So let me show you some pets that appeared in the vapor. This was an apparition of a dog, aside Shane, also in that same workshop that I mentioned that was happening in Orlando. This is another dog that appeared, but it is just here in my lab. And now, yes, that's Brandon. I didn't have this image, but I remembered. So yesterday I asked him, I sent him a message and asked him to send, because I would like to show pets. And then he sent me the image when he was he was with me. I think it was in Orlando as well, and appeared this little dog.
Yeah, it was in Orlando. So if anyone's missing a puppy, I think we found him.
Yeah, that was Brandon speaking.
Yeah, that's me.
Hi,
was in
Brandon. Thank you for being here. So yeah, but Brandon has wonderful cases, by the way. We have a beautiful case when I was filming Brandon in that workshop, I suppose, I don't remember, but he became 3 different blonde girls with green eyes. So it's completely different because he is brunette and brown eyes and so, and he became a blonde girl, very, very beautiful.
Yeah,
So
I'm definitely not a blonde female.
yeah, and also we made a quick test also in his room. We were in the same hotel, and I was just filming him with the bubble plastic, remember? And then appeared someone aside him immediately. So it was so nice.
Yeah, we also had an eagle, I think, show up.
Yeah. So let's see, for finishing, some cases of voices. And I will show you our device that my friend, engineer Thales, developed for us to test, for me to test. This is the device. And this device has some different function. It transforms light into sound. In truth, first sound into light and light into sound back. So it goes to sound to light, so it becomes very high frequency, and then it comes down. And our expectation is that the other side, our spirit friends, will manage more easily when it becomes light, because they are more used to high frequencies. So that is why we make this bridge that we call light bridge. So this is Thales. And I'll show you some examples. And here I say to Tesla, who is the general coordinator for all transmissions to Earth, I say, will Thomas Edison work with our team? Because I think everybody knows that Tesla and Thomas Edison had a bet when they were alive. It's alive in our side, right? So he replies, he's my brother, meaning that the fight ended. So let's listen.
Will Thomas Edison work with our team?
He's not brothers. He's not brothers. He's not brothers.
Let's see another case still from Tesla. And in a moment I asked, can I put some questions? And he says, yes, can receive.
Can I put some questions?
Yeah. Get receives. Yeah. Get receives. Yeah. Get receives.
And I think this is the last audio and the last frame. This was a communication of Cameron. He is Stephanie's son, and he says, this is one of the greatest invents, referring to the technology of ITC. So let's listen to Cameron.
This is one of the greatest invents.
Hi, Cameron.
This is one of the greatest invents.
Hi, Cameron.
This is one of the greatest events.
Hi, Cameron.
So I think that
This is one.
sorry, this is what I had to show to you. If you would like to see the details of each case, just visit our Patreon site, and I'll be pleased to receive anyone. And we are here for questions. If anyone has, oh, hi, Brandon. I'm watching Brandon in my screen. Okay, Anna, here we are back.
Yeah, we have first question here showing in my screen is from Art. Art, would you please unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
Yes, is that theatrical smoke that you are using?
Did you ask about the smoke?
He's asking if ok, let me say em português. Ele está perguntando se realmente é fumaça mesmo que você está usando.
It's the vapor from a humidifier.
Yeah.
Vapor coming up from the humidifier.
Yeah, hi, Lisa.
Hi, dear.
Thanks, that's it, yes. Yeah. Yeah, in truth, let me explain. I think that the vapor or the smoke, in truth, it's vapor from the humidifier, will serve as if it was something that is that they can shape, or that they can project an image, and then we got in our devices. So it is. I don't know if in US you had a long time ago, when I was a child, we had blackboards in the schools. I feel also had blackboards for the teacher to show, to write, and so on. I would say that the vapor functions as if it was a blackboard for them to create and to project and to send the images. It is something like something that it is solid for them to project to us.
To manipulate, yeah. Thank you. So, Karen, you were the next one.
Thank you. I have two very quick questions. How important is a photo? Do you think it plays the part similar to gibberish for EVPs, or can it be done without a photo?
Yeah, for sure. In truth, up to now, obviously, these may change in future, but up to now, we needed to supply something for them to manage. For instance, it is if it is sound, you have to supply a sound, because sound is a mechanical wave. It doesn't exist out of our three-dimensional life, so we have to supply something here so that they can change into their replies. And precisely as you said, it is the same with image. You have to offer something for them to change, and that is how the transfiguration scales work. Because let's say I show one photo, and then they manage it, and then they change it, they give life to the photo, and the photo can get younger and can get older. So it is you know, how they have to have something in our space-time for them to manage it. Maybe in future these changes, but up to now it is absolutely necessary. Yeah.
Yes, because I was wondering about your cases of unknowns, because you would have no photo of those people, but yet you get a good visual of an unknown.
Yeah, very well remembered. I think that it is, again, usually it is over vapor that they appear. And then again, it is something like something that is, because it's like this. In truth, we have to understand that the communication in the late years, in truth, don't make the way for being transmitted. It is not, to say transmission today is something wrong, because it is like this. They have a copy of our space, of our room or our persons, they have a copy precisely in their own space, so that maybe they can be at the end of the universe and it will work because they will transmit it through wormholes. So whenever I have the vapor here, it is simply white, let's say, all the vapor, but these vapor in their space, they can manage, we don't know if it through devices or through thoughts or whatever, but they can project some images, and then it is how the unknowns come, because they send from there, and it is in my time and space here. It is something like a virtual reality. In their space, they have us. Possibly right now they have exactly all of us together in their screen, in their lab, so that they can manage anything, and that will be reflected here. This is a new theories of resonance that are mentioned in physics, and it is much modern and much more updated than the previous technique that they used some 20 or 30 years ago. By that time, they used it to make transmissions. But when we were in Phoenix, and I was there with me, I think you were too, when Howdy said that they couldn't transmit anymore because of the shield around Earth. So they had to invent a new technology so they don't have to transmit and cross our the surrounding of Earth. So everything is done as virtual reality. So whenever they wanted to send the unknowns, they possibly have the unknowns there that they, it is like a print in the vapor, and then it is registered here simultaneously.
Okay, thank you. And the other quick question I had was, I know it's a very emotive topic in America at the moment. It's not so much here in Australia, but abortions. If a mother has, or a mother-to-be has an abortion for medical reasons or whatever, or the doctor deems it's medical reasons, does that child grow up and do they connect with the family? Or are they, you know, a spirit who's come in for the purpose of having that experience of leaving before breathing?
In truth, the spirit comes for this short experience, maybe for him or her, but also for mother, right? Because it is something that the mother had to cross, to go through. But yes, what we were surprised to see is that yes, the fetus may be just a fetus of some months, that he will or her will grow up in the other side. And if anyone is interested in this theme, we have 3 magazines, I think, the communication with the unknowns. And it was absolutely curious because, but by that time we didn't have images as Brittany's case recently, which you could see the girl. But when we made those communications with unknowns, Tesla replied on their behalf. And I remember that, for instance, one of the ladies that was participating of that project had lost a baby in a miscarriage something like 40 years ago. So it was an adult. And Tesla confirmed that he was he, because she didn't know it was she or he, and many other informations. So yes, they grow up, even being a fetus is still a spirit, and the spirit will go on in life. So it is very, very interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Karen. So Len, would you please go ahead?
Sonia, thank you so much for this amazing evidential lecture as always, and for your beautiful heart. I'm going to make this quick because of consideration of everyone, but my wife and I, she's on the other side, I'm here, we work as a team. We have all forms of communication to the maximum, and she finds the individual in the higher astral planes on the other side through the locator building, and she reports back to me. So I'm like the court stenographer, the psychic reporter. Our accuracy is 100% because mediums are here, they're not over there. She's over there. So we're finding now we've had volumes of information on this now we're doing more children. We did adults, and this now has been years in doing this, that the rate, the comment is the rate of maturity. Now remember, on the other side, there is no time. Here we have linear time for the organization of reincarnation. The rate of maturity we're finding of children is faster on the other side than would be normally we would expect. And also in the reverse, as you know, if you're old, you go back to your primes, 30, 35, 25. We're finding the reverse rate of becoming youthful again is quicker, is faster too. That's all the comment I wanted to make. And sometime maybe you and I can talk a little bit more in private about what my wife and I are finding as a team of the higher astral planes and the individuals and the spirit on the other side. Thank you again.
Len, it is very curious, this information. And I think that your words could be illustrated with Wesley's case, because he passed it 2 years ago with the age of 13, and now he is a young man. So it is, as you said, they grow fast. Yeah, that is very interesting. Yes.
Yes. Thank you again.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Len. Leda, please, you're next.
Congratulations on your work, Sonia. It makes us Brazilian very proud. I just like to understand more about the stations, because you mentioned there are 4 stations. So the communication is only made by this station, and in this time, do you know how many stations you have? Your station? Are there others? How does it work? Very briefly, just for us to understand.
Yeah, sure. Well, what I know, right, and obviously we never know too much, but anyway, what I know, it's just something like this. For instance, each of us in any profession, we have possibly, when we pass, we will go on interested in developing the same functions that we had. For instance, a medical doctor, let's suppose he works 15 hours a day here. He loves medicine. When he passes, possibly he will remain in hospitals, inspiring other doctors and helping as much as he can, and so on. So, I mean, I think that we keep the same interests, right? So, these also will happen to engineers, physicists, mathematicians, inventors. So when they are in the other side, it is more than natural that they try together to be together so that they can go on with their projects. And obviously, there is a huge necessity presently of the other side of the high command to bring to earth evidences of afterlife, which is possibly the last chance that our humanity has to change, right? To go to the right path back, because we are completely lost, mainly with the materialism, this thirst for power that we see in many places, wars, and all these wrong things that shouldn't be like this. So they have a hurry in establishing contact with us, making it each time better, so that we have strong evidences of afterlife. Maybe the knowledge of afterlife is the last chance of humanity. So just to say, so they are together, and so they create places where they can develop also devices. The literature, the spiritist literature has lots of examples of devices that they use, usually not only for ITC, but in general, they communicate through different levels. These appear in Chico Xavier's books, many of them. And so they are together and thinking, using their brain on how to solve these problems. For instance, let's say that 30 years ago, they didn't have the problem of the transmissions because this shield that Dr. Haldif mentioned around Earth is precisely the problem that of all the huge amount of signals that we have now, GPS, internet, also satellites, everything is around Earth. So it made it impossible for them to cross these to reach us. So they had to put the brain to work and think of another possibility. And then it seems that it was Tesla's idea to make this thing like a virtual reality and then make it possible the transmission. So let's say that in the other side, the stations are absolutely huge places with lots of people, lots of technicians and all sort of people thinking, not only using human beings, but others, other races that can contribute with their abilities that human didn't reach yet, so that they can solve mathematicians' problems to reach us. So the existence of the stations is something, let's say, natural. And as I said, I know that I am in touch with these 4, but there are lots of others in stations. Some were not even announced yet because they depend that the terrestrial people is interested. When there is no interest on Earth, they don't function. They keep going with their tests, but by themselves, but they don't get in touch. But whenever it is the interest is awoken, then they start appearing. So lots of other people is also ready to communicate with us, with other groups in many places of Earth.
Amazing. Thank you very much. It's very clear now. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Leda. Maria, you're next.
All right. Thank you, Anna. Congratulations on this work, Sonia.
Thank you.
And I want to share with you what I think about. From what I understood, and according to what some spiritists have said, that in the future, we will communicate with spiritual cities through devices. I have a feeling that the pioneer work you do will lead us to this. I am right?
For sure. What I think is that yeah, as I said, it is a need to establish and to better this communication, but I am not so optimistic and think that soon mankind will have this type of connection, just for one reason: mankind is not prepared. So they have to make tests and see how they can solve all the problems to cross spaces and times, and we don't have no idea. And as you said, it is just a seed. I prefer to call as a seed that we're planting now, that will flourish some years ahead. Unhappily, I think that mankind has to be prepared for that, which is not the case now. But I think that it will be maybe one day, I think that maybe it will be our day by day. But it will take long until, you see, we have the 3 greatest religions in the world, obviously many others, but 3 main ones, and the 3 denies survival after life. So how can we go on with this? So it has to be slowly, so that people can be prepared, and then ahead when the devices are very well tested, and when they solved many equations, possibly it will be that time. In this meantime, we have no idea what will happen to make men better, but that is absolutely necessary, because today, if this device was at our disposal, it wouldn't be well used. It would be used for military purposes, for spying, you know. So I think that before this to become day by day, mankind has to change.
Thank you so much. I agree with you, and I wish that God continue to open up your work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Una, you're next.
Thanks. Hi, Sonia. My question is about what you were saying about light and sound and changing light and sound. Can you talk a little bit more about that, please?
About, sorry, but light?
Yeah, the equipment, the device that you show that Thales developed it on.
Okay. The light bridge, yes. Okay, it is like this. We have a Brazilian pioneer that nobody knows, that lived 120 years ago. Father Landel, for his bad luck, he was a priest, but he was an inventor. Also, unluckily, he was Brazilian, so he was very unlucky. And but he was a genius, and it is said that he invented the radio 4 years before Marconi. But again, as he was unlucky, the fame went to Marconi, but it doesn't matter. He was a genius, Father Landel. His name is Roberto Landel de Moura. If anyone wants to read about him, he had a very sad life, but he was absolutely brilliant, and he is now one of the coordinators of the South Station. And Dr. Landel, one of his inventions was to use light for communication. This was at 120 years ago. So obviously, nobody paid attention, and obviously it made no sense. Not even electricity was just starting, because he had been with Thomas Edison. Father Landel went to New York for some time, and in very difficult conditions and everything. And so he mentioned the possibility of light to be the conductor of sound. And now we rescued this idea, and we thought the following. The sound is, sounds are, let's say, some low frequencies compared to light. And we see that the other side, due to their development, to where they live or whatever, they have more facility in managing light. That is why they are so good in images. That what they do, they manage light and make the images, the transimages. So we thought maybe this can happen to sound as well. So Thales developed a device in which we enter with a sound, which may be a gibberish, for instance. And this is, I don't know, obviously the technical part, because that's not my function, but Thales developed this process in which this sound that is coming through to the device will suddenly stop sounding and become light. So it goes on as light, and then there is a part of the device that brings it back as sound again. So it enters as sound, becomes light, and then it becomes sound again. And our hope is that they could manage when the moment that the sound was light. So that we tested it, and it perfectly worked. So that was Landel's idea. And yes, they have more facility to work with the light. And when it becomes sound back, it is the reply. So it is something that we are testing. Tarlis made already 4 versions, and he's preparing the 5th. And we hope that possibly with this 5th version, we will be able to communicate in double wire, that is in real time. But let's see.
Thank you, Sonia. Luis, Olivia.
Hi, Sonia. This is Luis from Belo Horizonte again. Thank you so much for this amazing knowledge that you've been sharing with us. While listening to you, I recall that some friends of mine back in 1999, I guess, I think there was an international seminary in São Paulo. Maybe you took part in it. And my friends, they were very impressed that some groups from Europe, they were going down the pipes because of lots of strange situations coming around, like the Luxembourg group that was very famous, I guess. And I think you tackled this subject when Una or Maria talked to you, because the problem is some groups, they were not prepared, right? And I remember that while reading, while the groups failed, I remember how the works like Kardec's, for example, could be very useful, right? Not to because, you know, Kardec, he did a very nice job in terms of screening rationally all the problems, all the deception, all the things. And I think it was a pity that those groups, and I think one of the reasons you tackled today, for example, Telefunken wanted to buy the schemes, and lots of problems related to ambition, related to greed came around, and it showed that it was really kind of earlier for the progress of some parts, right? So thank you very much for you to tell us this, because this is so important for us, because we need to improve our way of thinking, right? And your work is so important for that, because as Kardec used to say this, if the very moment we confirm that the afterlife is the truth, right? Everything will change. Even this greedy, silly, greedy way of being of us, right? So thank you very much about that.
My pleasure. Thank you, Luis. In truth, I have been thinking that if the knowledge that we have now, this group and others, were all around the world as a real truth, Mr. Putin wouldn't be doing what he is doing now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
people wouldn't be fighting.
Yeah, precisely. So we are unhappily, it is not of the knowledge of everybody that we respond for everything we do. And I feel pity, if that is the case, of persons like him, like Putin, because he's responsible for millions of deaths and prejudices of all types. And still, we cannot do anything because unhappily, we are the minority. Nobody knows that life goes on. But as you said, it is not time yet. They are not interested. Not even, it is useless to try anything because they are not interested. Who wants to know about afterlife? But it seems that we belongs to a project, and this project is not ours. In the right time, in the right moment, the other side will know how to proceed and how to reach mankind. This has to happen. It is a necessity. Before this planet explodes, they will do it, I hope.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Karen, you have another question?
I didn't have a question. I just really wanted to thank Sonia for explaining her work, and also Anna for hosting Sonia in your time, and also Lisa, who was filling in some things in the background in chat so that we could keep up with what was going on. So I'd just like to thank all three of you for doing this. And I'm so glad that the winters are going away and I can now join the group again.
Thank you.
My pleasure. I have to say that recently I made a recording for Emma, Karen's patient and daughter. And I think was absolutely surprised how beautiful she is now. She was beautiful anyway, but anyway, I remember that when I was seeing the recording, Emma's results, I sent it to many friends of mine saying, look at this. And then it was my pleasure to bring this to Karen. She is a great cooperator of this knowledge, and Emma knows that, and she's trying to be present all the time. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonia. I was about to ask you a question as well when you answered, when you provide with the answer that we need to get better, we need to improve, because my question was exactly, the Spirits book, Chico Xavier, remember he used to say that a lot, that every time the telephone rings from there to here, right? From the spiritual dimension to here, and not the opposite. So, but I know little by little, we are getting closer between the physical dimension and the spiritual, we are getting closer. So my question to you was exactly, why we are not quite there yet. And then you mentioned, well, we are not prepared. And that's very well said, because that's exactly what we need to work on. We need to earn that right to be in contact with them. We need to earn their better efforts, right? Because they can do it. Yeah. We cannot just get there, but they can do it, right? It's a matter of us, each one of us, right? So we have, Lisa said something about we all have some responsibility, and I agree with her. It's a matter of each one of us. We better do our best, on a day by day little things that we do in our lives, so we can earn as a society to live better days when we can communicate with our beloved ones in the other side. By the way, Lisa, I would like you to introduce yourself and talk about the work that you do with Sonia, if you could, please.
She's a great helper. Oh my God.
Anna.
Without her.
So there's a lot of us that work with Sonia.
Yes.
Everywhere in Brazil and here. I manage Sonia's Patreon and edit reports and things like that, but I work closely with her. And I've been doing that for several years now. So that's kind of why I butted in and, tried to explain some things there. But yeah, so if anybody is interested in checking out Patreon, because Sonia receives a lot of emails through iPatty, through herself, through Patreon, with individual people asking for help with contact. And over the years, I think that she's just determined that, her role is to try to help as many as possible instead of just working with people individually. And so we started this Patreon group. Instead of being, going out there and just putting a general email out to the public, has anybody lost a son through suicide? It would take forever to get that information. And if she did it with each individual, I put in there, how long it takes to go through even 1 minute of a recording. With 1,800 frames, going through 1 minute takes forever. So when she can work with several people at one time. So we started this Patreon group. And then we just publish in there, who are we looking for? Anybody who's lost their mom, or anybody who's lost someone to cancer, or anything like that. And then we have a ready group of people and she can begin recording. So if anybody is interested in that, or if you're just interested in having questions answered about Patreon, I'll just put my email in there, and anybody can either just go right to Patreon, sign up, or email me and I'll try to answer anything I can for you.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Sure.
Thank you. Very well said.
Lisa. Let me just say one thing. We from time to time have the idea of making a group of with such and such characteristics. For instance, we are just finishing with the mothers that had one son or daughter, only child, and lost. So we made a group, and we had 12 mothers in these conditions. Before that, we had a group of mothers who had lost 2 sons, and so on. And now I'm thinking of the next group to be of suicides, persons who lost a son or a daughter due to a suicide. I think that unhappily, the suffering of losing someone is something so horrible that I would like, to be able to do much more than I do, but unhappily the day has only 10 hours more or less. The other time I have to sleep, right? So, but let's see with the group of suicides, if we can help. I think the suicides is, well, every death is horrible. I think that the separation is something, even for those like me, Anna, and others that know that life goes on. It diminishes, obviously, the pain, obviously, but it is, you cannot say, oh, no, I don't care, obviously. It hurts.
It's hard.
But much, much more if the person doesn't know, right? So that is what we are trying to do. And I love you, Anna.
And we certainly do appreciate all you do, Sonia, because this is an act of love, absolutely an act of love with no interest. So
Anna,
thank you so much. Yes.
I need to go now. I'd like to say something very important that is related to what Sonia said. Is even in mediumistic groups and circles, many times we force them into questions because, for example, I like going deep into questions to the spirits about what things are like there. And sometimes you see that the information cannot come through, just cannot come through. You can be in Australia, you can be in New Zealand, in England. And if you force them, and Allan Kardec got that, if you're forced very much into that question, maybe fake answers can come. So we need to be careful. And this is something very important for us to deal with mediumistic groups, because sometimes you want to go farther and farther and farther. Okay, you want an answer, you have the answer, right? What's the speed of the electron, for example? Okay, we cannot say that. But if you want an answer, there will be a spirit capable of answering that question in a fake way. So I need to go. Thank you very much, guys, again. It's nice to see you, Karen. Nice to see you personally again. Bye, guys.
Thank you all. Sonia, would you like to say the last words?
Now, just to thank people that is present up to now with patience, and I hope that I have been useful for something, and I'm at your disposal. We are. I always say that we are in the same boat, so we are, right. So let's try to move on and help each other, and that's it. I thank you very much for your patience up to here.
Thank you, Sonia. As usual, wonderful presentation.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
And folks, we'll see each other next Saturday. Thank you.
Don't make me emotional.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
Wonderful.
Thank you.